Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Before I get this lesson started, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone, whom I learned from in the shalom to the hope elect, the 144,000 chosen, taking its truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai, and declaring prophecy and speaking down, chanting down, singing down, harping the new song, harping down Mystery Babylon, which is the land of the north, the land of our captivity, also known as America. This is your brother Adah. I'm going to attempt to see if I can pull a sliver out of prophecy with all of this madness that's going on. The shameful spewing, the lifting up of the skirt and showing the nations the nakedness. Well, what does that do? The enchantments, okay? The literal supernatural aspect, the covering that's been cast over Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, starting with the self-proclamation of him being white. I mean, you can see this woman right here. She appears to be an Edomite. You can see her face, like the redness in her face, and you can see the white on her t-shirt, okay? All of this, everything, you got to understand, so we have to understand something, that prophecy, Yahweh, the Most High, is the creator. His oracles, what he writes with his pen, how he puts instructions in books, and then he hands those books to Yahweh Shai, his head son, his first son, his only begotten son, and then Yahweh Shai with the rest of the Alahayim, right, is able to go throughout creation and order sovereignly the minds and the directions of every spirit that's on the earth, all the nations, all the men, all the governments, and everything under those men and governments, which are your women, your children, your industry, everything. Prophecy, the specific prophecies govern. They're the governing. Let's get a. I want to try to see if I can. I'm trying to explain something with this whole Trump thing, man. Let's see what the definition of governed. Okay. Govern. To rule with authority. To steer. Well, this is good. Rule, command, direct. And in this case, we understand that the whole planet Earth is the movie, right? Is the movie of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, and Yahweh is the director, right? Yahweh Shai is the director. To steer, to be at the helm of, rule, command, direct. To direct, rule, guide, govern. To steer. This is originally to steer, to pilot. A nautical, borrowing from the Greek. To steer or pilot a ship. To direct as a pilot, figuratively, to guide, to govern. So I want to show you something. All of these precepts, all of the precepts in prophecy are governing. They are governing the minds. Actually, let's go to, let me see, hold on, Salakia. I'm going to pull up Isaiah. That's the one I wanted, Isaiah 19. Because we need to understand that there's an idol that is being brought down. And it is the global. This idol is so-called white supremacy and the covering that's been cast over Esau, Edom, because they're actually the Edomites. Okay? This is a prophecy. Isaiah 19, the entire chapter is what is happening and will continue to happen in America as it goes throughout the earth. And there's multiple prophecies taking place right now that are all connected. That we are entering into Jacob's trouble, and Jacob's trouble is explained in detail in 2 Ezra 15 and 16, and many other precepts. But those are like the main ones. And even, I believe, in Daniel chapter 12, when the archangel Michael will have to stand up for the elect. But look at this. Look, I want to focus on this right here. Look, Isaiah 19:1. The burden of Egypt. Behold, and Egypt is talking about America, mystery Babylon. This is not talking about Egypt in the past. This is a right now futuristic prophecy. The burden of Egypt. Behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud. That cloud goes into the chariots. Okay, Yahweh Shai being on a chariot, the other angels being in chariots. All the UFOs that you are seeing that Esau has been accusing of being something other than what they are. Okay, this is mentioning the fleets, the Yahweh of hosts, the armies. Okay, and shall come into Egypt. He's gonna, and so who's inside those chariots? The Alahayim, the powers on the rulers on the right and left hand, and they have the ability to direct the heart of the king, whithersoever it listeth, right? And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Let's get the blue letter. Let's get the blue letter on this. Look at this, man. And the idol that I'm talking about is the image of the so-called white male as protector, as king, as ruler, as savior, as innocent, as righteous, as intelligent, we had to what do they say when they justify colonialism? We what's the word when they subdue a nation and they say that they brought like order to it. What's the word? I'm brain farting it right now. Civilize. That's the lie that without the so-called white man and his science and his medication and his media and his religion, his version of the Bible, and without his Republican and Democratic rulership, there's no civilization. That everything would be in chaos. That the whole planet needs him to be on top in order for the rest of all the other nations. That the other races cannot function without his presence. It's all bullshit, okay? The burden of Egypt. This is Isaiah 19. The burden of Egypt. Behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence. And what will happen as a result of these idols being moved? The heart of Egypt, the heart of the inhabitants of America shall melt. Their minds are going to melt. All their hope in this patriotic American dream, this Western white male way of society, with all of the other nations underneath him as the head, it's going to fucking be challenged because the head is being cut off, and so the body is going to fall. Okay, so let's there's another precept. Look, he heapeth unto himself. Let me see. He heapeth unto himself. Let me see. That should be enough. Yep, that's it. So here's another that backs up the point I'm making. Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine. This is talking about the so-called white man. Wine going into his philosophies, going into his Renaissance Western Christianity, which is his Catholicism, which is not biblical at all. His Democratic and Republican way of rulership, his democracy, what he says in the media, what he says about everybody else, how he can talk shit about Venezuela. Oh, they're drug dealers, so we have to go over there and bomb them. What? Yet he owns and controls fucking the whole pharmaceutical reality, right? He brought in crack cocaine. Whatever he says about the fucking Middle East, that's the truth. Anything and everything the so-called white man has been able to say or accuse anyone else, that has been the gospel truth. That is all being dismantled right now, you guys. Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he sins by his philosophy. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. He's always in everyone else's business. He's always crossing borders, breaking into homes. He's always going into nations and stealing their resources. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. They're always stealing, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. That's what we see happening with America. He's got his military in everybody's backyard, you guys. So this goes back into this as a result of his image. Because remember, prophecies, these precepts in prophecies are programs. These are spirits. This is a sovereign spirit that governs. It governs the minds. It governs the movements of nations, and it governs the minds and movements of the rulers within those nations. And the rulers have impact or sway over their people. What's the other precept? It's in Ecclesiasticus, or is it in as the ruler is, so are the people? Let me see. I'm paraphrasing it. As the ruler, you got to remember everything. As the ruler is, so are the officers. So are the officers. Let me see. Look, you got it. This is real. Regardless of if you believe as the judge, and the judge is a god, little G-O-D, a judge is a ruler. A judge is a ruler of officers. Look, Ecclesiasticus 10:2. As the judge, king, president, Senate, House, Republican representative, Democratic representative, chief of police, mayor, judge, city councilman, you see what I'm saying? Your boss, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such as are all they that dwell therein, because they're under the vibration of that person. And that person that's been set over them is under the vibration of the governing spirits, and the governing spirits are found, you see it right here, but they're also right here. Look, boom. Isaiah 19, the burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh of hosts. What is Yahweh? How does he sit on his throne in Daniel chapter 5 or Daniel chapter 9? Isn't he surrounded by wheels of fire? Look, let's get it. So let me read this again. Look at, you got to see this. The sovereignty of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Isaiah 19:1, the burden of Egypt. Behold, Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai rideth upon a swift cloud. That's where he's enthroned. He's inside the fathership. And inside the fathership are all the other wheels of fire, because he's surrounded by millions of Alahayim on the right and the left, and they minister to him, and they're going to and fro from him into the earth. And shall come into Egypt. Everything will be focused on the bloody city and the idols of Egypt, the image of the so-called white man, along with everything else he's erected, shall be moved. We're going to get the blue letter in this. At his presence, and the spirit and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. So all the people that are underneath this idol, once this idol comes completely crashing down, it's going to affect all of them. Let's get Daniel really quick though. Wheels of fire, wheels around his throne. Daniel, bam, 7, my bad. So look at this. I beheld, this is Daniel 7:9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down. So there goes your rulerships. Those are your judges within the earth, right? And they're going to all be cast down again. And the Ancient of Days, that's Yahweh, did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like pure wool. This is a so-called black man. He's got an afro. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. This is his military, because his name is Yahweh of hosts. That word host means armies. Look at this. Daniel 7:10. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. He is the source of all this power. Thousands and thousands ministered unto him. Who are these? These are your warriors. These are your mighty ones, you guys. One of these beings on the right-hand side, one of these beings on the left-hand side, if Yahweh gave them sanction, if he sent them to destroy the planet, they could fucking wipe out the entire planet. One of them by themselves. One of them could do it, you guys. Thousands and thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. He is surrounded by armies. The judgment was set, and the books were open. Let's go back to the blue letter. Now look, Isaiah 19, because I'm gonna go into some of these TikTok videos. All right, the burden of Egypt. Behold, Yahweh rideth upon that swift cloud. Remember, he's enthroned. He's sitting on his throne, and he's surrounded by all these mighty beings, and he's got all of his chariots at his throne. They're right there, wheels of burning fire. What do you think those wheels are? Circular discs of burning fire? Those are UFOs. And they're all parked around his throne. Dude, he's surrounded by an armada of ships. You're not approaching this guy. He's surrounded, bro, by mighty ones that praise his highness, right? There's another precept that says that. Okay, so look. All right, the burden of Egypt. Behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud. That swift cloud is where his throne is. Inside that throne, inside that cloud it's a huge fathership. Inside that ship are other ships with operators of those ships, right? And shall come into Egypt. The focus is America. And the idols of America, Mystery Babylon, shall be moved. What does that mean? The idols shall come into Egypt and shall be moved. Look, to quiver, to totter, to shake, to reel, stagger, wander, move, sift, make move, waver, tremble, to quiver, vibrate, swing, stagger, tremble, to be unstable. All of this effect on the idols is going to affect all the people that are underneath the idol. To be tossed about or around, to toss about, to shake, cause to totter, to shake, disturb, to cause to wander. Let's get totter. Look. Totter. To swing to and fro. All right, to quiver. It has the form of a frequentative form to stem, totter, expressing instability or unstable movement. To rock or shake to and fro on a base. Stand or walk with shaky, unsteady steps. Now, look, let's do this. Let me see. Let's find it. Let me see. President Biden tripping.
President Biden tripping.
I'm going somewhere with this, you guys. What is President Biden? He's another Edomite male. He's on the Democratic side, but it's all one body, right? Look, he was doing it, and also now Trump is doing the same thing, you guys. Boom. That's Isaiah 19. This is an omen, okay? It's not just him. What is he? He's the head. He's the representation of the head, right? We understand that there are people in rulership behind him that we can't see that pull the strings, but he's the face of them. That's a representation of them. Look at this one. Remember this one? This is all symbolic. This is all prophetic. This is happening, man. Come on, man. Come on. He is not outside of prophecy. This nation of people is not outside of prophecy. Prophecy is all focused on them. Okay? So now, let's get Trump.
Trump staggering or falling.
Let me see. See, look, they put them back to back. All right? It's the same thing, you guys. This is not an act. This is happening. Now, with all this crap happening, look. Now, let's go into here. Let me pull this up.
Hey, guys.
Okay, so let me see. There's a million of them. Let me see. Hold on. There she is. Okay, listen to this.
Stay with me. I'm going to read you portions of the case against Donald J. Trump and Jeffrey Epstein filed by Jane Doe in the United States District Court, Southern District of New York.
So this video has got 29,000 views. If you read some of the Some of this is just spreading. It's spreading like a disease. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And what does it go into? It goes into this. It goes into this. It goes into all of this, you guys. All right. The idol of this race of people, which has been an enchantment to the entire planet since they've been in rulership, and it's increasingly gotten more insane because of Hollywood and rock and roll music and even hip hop. Even with our people help spice it up for them. You see what I'm saying? The 2/3 of our people, America is this huge idol of Edomite supremacy, man, with all these different facets to it: Christianity, Catholicism, pornography, all the music, entertainment industry, the Hollywood industry, the government, the military, the media, just the lifestyle of everyone in this country. But it all shines a light on so-called white supremacy. That is a fucking idol. Yahweh is bringing it down.
It is case 1:16-CV-07673-RA. I'm starting on page 4, paragraph 9. The plaintiff was enticed by promises of money and modeling career to attend a series of parties with other similarly minor females held at New York City residence that was being used by defendant Jeffrey Epstein. At least 4 of the parties were attended by defendant Trump. Please see exhibits A and B. So there were exhibits, in other words, pictures or something proving that he was there. On information and belief, by this time in 1984, defendant Trump had known defendant Epstein for 7 years. Quote, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy," unquote. Trump booms from a speakerphone. Quote, "He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it, Jeffrey enjoys his social life," unquote. And knew that plaintiff was then just 13 years old. Exhibits A and B, probably pictures. Paragraph 10. Defendant Trump initiated contact with plaintiff at 4 different parties. On the 4th and final sex encounter with defendant Trump tied plaintiff to a BED, exposed himself to the plaintiff, and then proceeded to forcibly grape the plaintiff. During the course of this SAVAGE SEXUAL attack, plaintiff loudly pleaded with the defendant Trump to stop, but with no effect. Defendant Trump responded to the plaintiff's pleas by striking in the face with his open hand and screaming that he would do whatever he wanted. Exhibits A and B. Paragraph 11. Immediately following this, GRAPE, defendant Trump, THREATENED, the plaintiff, that if she were to ever reveal any of the details of the SA and physical A of her by defendant Trump, that the plaintiff and her family would be physically harmed, if not KILLED.
So he threatened this chick with the murdering of her family. It goes on in more detail. We don't need to hear any more of that. But as this video goes on, it's like, holy shit, man, right? So this is how the image of these people is going to be destroyed, because they put all their supposed best people up on, on a pedestal in
Are you ready? You ready?
In public in the government, and then we're seeing it all come out now.
You like it? You sure? Okay. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw...
Look at his face. Look at his face. Look at the aggression in his face. Now, we're not here to attack, what's the word? Masculine, testosterone, the way a man is with a woman. But this dude he's under the spotlight now. And so now we got to go back and look at every time we can see him in this light with these Epstein files and with what we also know about the so-called white man who's the biblical Edomite. And this is not normal. It starts to paint a picture.
Are you ready? You ready? You like it? You sure? Okay. On her way to work one morning, down the path, along the lake.
Look at his face.
A
Look at his face.
tender-hearted woman.
Look, right there. Look at his face. Look at him growling. Oh, yeah,
Saw
buddy.
a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty colored skin had been all frosted with
Look
the
at,
dew.
look at Jeffrey Epstein, man.
Oh, well, she cried, I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman. Sighed the broken snake. She wrapped him up, all cozy, in a curvature of silk. Then laid him by the fireside with some honey and some milk. Now she hurried home from work that night. As soon as she arrived, she found that pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived.
All right. Just a little bit on that. Where are we going?
While receiving another full body massage from plaintiff Johnson, while in the nude, defendant Epstein became so enraged after finding out that defendant Trump had been the one to take plaintiff Johnson's virginity that defendant Epstein also violently raped plaintiff Johnson. After forcing plaintiff Johnson to disrobe into her bra and panties while receiving a massage from the plaintiff, defendant Epstein attempted to enter plaintiff Johnson's
Her backside, the back door, the anal.
with his EP while trying to restrain her. Plaintiff Johnson attempted to push defendant Epstein away, at which time defendant Epstein attempted to enter plaintiff Johnson's other area with his EP. This attempt to brutally sodomize and rape plaintiff Johnson by defendant Epstein was finally repelled by plaintiff Johnson, but not before defendant Epstein was able to achieve SO. After previously sodomizing and raping plaintiff Katie Johnson, the defendant Jeffrey E. Epstein attempted to strike her about the head with his closed fist while he angrily screamed at plaintiff Johnson that he, defendant Epstein, should have been the one who took her cherry, not Mr. Trump, before she finally managed to break away from defendant Epstein.
So it just goes on. I'm just trying to give you bits and pieces of this insanity.
Not just cooked, you guys. He is fully
There's another one, another Edomite that's somewhere in the government that's...
microwaved at this point. Like, finito. It's done. Somehow this part of the emails is flying under the radar. I haven't seen much talk about
Everything about this race of people. See, it's not... See, people want to say, oh, it's just the, what do you call it? The government. No, look at this.
this at all yet.
Look at this. Look at this, man. White men. It automatically comes up. Look at this. So you can see the quick, these are the facts right here. Offender and offense characteristics. 92%, 1% of sexual abuse offenders were men. 51.6 were white. 21.7 were black. 12 were Hispanic, 11 were Native American, and 1.9 were other races. 75% of the offenders in cases involving child pornography were white. 41% of the offenders in cases involving travel for prohibited sexual contact were white. 37 were black. 52 of offenders in cases involving criminal sexual abuse. I don't know why they have Native American in there. 73% of offenders in cases involving abuse, sexual contact, were Native American. I'm having a hard time believing that. 85%, 84% of offenders in cases involving statutory rape were Native American. Statutory rape is when I think it's like a 16-year-old or a 15-year-old, but they were boyfriend or girlfriend. Their average age was 37 years. 95% were United States citizens. So there goes the bloody city. There goes Mystery Babylon. This is the nation that shit takes place in, right? Of course, the Americans leave, the Edomites leave and go do it other places. 62% had little or no prior criminal history. Now, the 62% who had prior history is because of so many Edomites, but Edomites aren't policed by the police like we are. That doesn't mean they're innocent, you see? See how the system works? So these are statistics. These are the stacks, bro. These are the statistics. So it's not just the government. Remember, it's what does the scripture say? As the judge is, so are the people on the bottom, right? In Ecclesiasticus, it's the whole seed. It's the whole fucking seed. The whole seed is evil and corrupt. Let's just get a couple more.
Today, an indictment was unsealed, charging Donald J. Trump with conspiring to defraud the United States, conspiring to disenfranchise voters.
That's old shit. I don't know why I have that in there. So lucky for that. Let me
That's a joke. I mean, that is the most ridiculous thing that I have ever heard. This is 23,000 pages that were obtained from the Epstein estates, representing emails between Epstein and several other prominent people over the course of 15 years. Donald Trump was named hundreds of times. Everything from references to him being on Epstein's island to him spending hours with victims and survivors of.
So another one of my points was you got to ask yourself now, why is this happening? Because Trump, not concerning the people of the United States, not concerning, any of us Israelites, but as far as the elites are concerned, it seems like Trump has been doing well for them, for the rich. So then why is this coming out? There's a couple of reasons on the human side as far as the elites are concerned that I can guess at, because they want to destroy him or destroy his image so that then they can put somebody else in there, maybe J.D. Vance. I've heard some people mention that makes sense. They want to get J.D. Vance in there. He's younger. He's got a cleaner image, but he's also for the elites. That could be one thing. They're also destroying America. America has to lose its sovereignty so that the one world order, the MOTV, can move forward. That's also another reason. But remember, regardless of whatever it is that the elites are doing, they are following. They are under this instruction right here. Okay. The burden of Egypt. Behold, this is Isaiah 19:1. The burden of Egypt. Behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Okay. So that's what's happening. This idol, Jeffrey Epstein, the idol of the so-called white male. Okay, the purity, the righteousness, the high IQ, the safety, the provider, the father figure, all that shit. That shit's being destroyed, you guys, and this is the beginning stages of it. I mean, it's been happening. Okay, but there's another prophecy. Obadiah. Just thought about the spirit. Where are you at, Obadiah? Okay, Obadiah 1. From thence I will bring thee down. Okay. Look, the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith Yahweh, the Most High, concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, we understand that the eagle is the bird, is the national bird of America, but it's also the bird of the Edomites. It's all throughout the Roman coins. It's a part of Spain and the Britain, all of them. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, though thou set thy nest among the stars, that's talking about their satellite system. And when they fake moon landed, even during that fake moon landing, in 1969, they said the eagle has landed. Thence, that this is a time indicator. This is a sign in the sky, the sign in the stars. Thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. And this lines up with Isaiah 19:1. His image is being destroyed, you guys. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? Meaning, when other people steal, they get what they want and they take off. You guys continue. You can't be fucking satisfied. They're still stealing to today. They just stole a whole bunch of money through the crypto crash. They're trying to go steal Venezuela's oil right now, calling them drug dealers. They want to go into Mexico. You guys, these motherfuckers won't stop doing what the fuck they're doing until Yahushua comes and removes them from power. If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? Everybody that steals doesn't steal like the so-called white man steals. That's what that's saying. You can say it's not saying that, but that's what that's saying. Wait, what? There's another one. This was Robert Morris. When I was a Christian, this was a big-time pastor out of Trump's former spiritual advisor. He just got 6 months for sexual. But again, this is the image. It's the image of the so-called white male, the shaved beard, the short hair, the suit and the tie, the penis tie symbol, the suit and the tie. That image is being destroyed, you guys, because you hardly ever saw stuff like this. And regardless of if this is fake or not, because I wondered, I was like, wait a minute, did that really happen? Not defending him. My thought was, he's a Freemason, and his whole role was to play this pastor that when it was time, he would get busted for some sexual bullshit. You see what they gave him? They only gave him 6 months, which he can serve, I think, on house arrest. So he's not really being punished, but his image is destroyed. That's me speaking as a man, because all of these Christian pastors that are on television, they're all Freemasons. So they're all liars from the beginning. And based on their rank, they know more than others. That also could have, but regardless of if it was that or if this also is the truth, what does it go into? It goes into here. It goes into him being brought down, and it also goes into Isaiah 19, that image, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence. And the idol of Egypt, the number one idol of America, is this so-called white male. His philosophy, what he says, how he lives, the things he does, he can do no wrong. He can do no wrong even when he's caught doing wrong. And now that shit's being brought down.
I'm just happy that it is over. I feel good about it. It's behind us. What does this do like?
This is on so many levels. But look, so let's go listen.
Happy Tuesday night, man. Today was a ride.
Mike Johnson is in pure panic about this bill that just sailed through the Senate. He really believed that they were going to add some roadblocks to this one. They didn't. So it is worth reading the very short bill about which the Speaker of the House is in full panic mode. First of all, irony of ironies, if Jeffrey Epstein were still alive, they wouldn't be able to do this, because in here it's written language to the effect that if there's an ongoing investigation, you can't get the files. They could just say, hey, we're investigating Epstein, and then the whole thing would go away. But because he unalived himself under mysterious causes in 2019 in a federal prison, they can't do that. They can't just say we're going to investigate this man, because he's no longer with us. So together, let's look at this bill and see why the Speaker of the House is in full panic mode. Not later than 30 days after the date of the enactment of this act, the Attorney General shall make publicly available in a searchable and downloadable format all unclassified records, documents, communication, and investigative materials in the...
Well, you got to ask yourself, why are they doing this? They're not doing this because they're righteous people. There's a motive. There's a reason why they're doing it that makes sense to them, because they don't do shit like this, you guys. But regardless of the reason why they're doing it, this is the reason why it's happening. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And as a result of that image being tainted and wobbling and crashing, what's going to happen? And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. White people, Edomites, are going to start fighting each other. 2 Esdras chapter 15 and 16. Because it's no longer the American dream. It's no longer the beacon of light that shines in 1,000 hills. Everything has failed them, and the truth of what they are is coming out, and they're talking about themselves, and they're going to start to argue. Some will still try to defend the reality. Some will be so fucking upset that they'll get pissed off when they hear about the reality, and others of them will be like, you fucking suck. Edomites fight each other hard, you guys, and this is all going into... Let me pull it up. I will lift your skirt up. I'm gonna get two more. I will lift up thy skirt and show the nations thy nakedness. And that goes, this is Nahum 3:5. Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts. And I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, meaning, well, I'm going to expose your nakedness, and I will show the nations, I will show the people, all the people that you're ruling over, all the people that you've brought to America to be over. You've gathered all these people underneath you, and you've called them Americans when they're actually from another country. And I will show them thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. China can see this. Russia can see this. The EU can see this. Africa can see. Everybody. Israel, the daughter of Zion, herein the captives, herein us, the hopeful elect. We can see this. Okay? And one more. Shameful spewing. Shameful spewing, man. And that's what's happening, dude. Their reputation as this awesome group of people, it's fucking over, man. Habakkuk 2 and 6. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. There goes another reference to genitalia being exposed, because nakedness in the scriptures is dark speech for transgression. When you are naked, you need to have your transgression covered. That's where the blood of Yahushua comes in at. That's where the coats of skin that were made for only Adam and Eve, his wife, come in at. And this is only, covering of transgression is only applied to the elect of Israel through the blood of Yahushua, by Yahweh and by Yahushua. It's only acceptable to Yahweh by Yahushua applying his blood to us. You have to have that mark of thawah, that mark of exemption on you, and that goes into the names, Yahweh, Yahushua, and the doctrine. The new song, understanding this 100% truth and accepting prophecy. The testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. Habakkuk 2 and 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory, drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee. That's Lamentations 4:21 and 22, or 20 and 21. And shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. So this glory goes into the enchantments that the whole world has been under. The so-called white man can do no wrong. The so-called white man is the most intelligent. The so-called white man is the righteous. That's all bullshit. The truth of what he is coming out, you guys.
One time I dated a guy.
Shut up, bitch. They talk too much on TikTok, I swear.
These are 427.
Look how happy this is an effeminate. This dude dresses up like a drag queen. And so right here, how happy he is. Oh, yeah, we're going to show you the Epstein files. And everybody's cheering. Bro, everybody in this house is a pervert. So this is an enchantment. You got to understand, they have a reason why they're bringing this out. It's not going to be the way it should be, but it still goes into this. Okay?
The nays are 1. 2/3 being in the affirmative. The rules are suspended. The bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Now look at the comments. What the files they release will look like. And all redacted, which is true. So see, the people know this is bullshit. The turnaround in the last 24 hours is too suspicious. They definitely messed with the list. The Epstein files, Donald's version, 427 to 1. So Trump scrubbed his name and let his minions know it was okay to vote. Yeah, see, everyone's not buying it. Since when do we need a bill passed to see public records? If Trump's name is not on there a single time, it's definitely been tampered with 200%. So everyone is that's Charlie Kirk on Epstein's body. Anyways, you guys see it. The idol, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, is bringing down the idol of the so-called white man and all the other idols, but that's the main one. The main idol in this nation is white supremacy, the self-proclaimed white man. I pray that this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Rakakodash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, of whom I learned from in the Shalom, to the hope that I take in his truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Radah. Shalom.